welcome to another episode of Speak Geek. I hope you guys enjoyed our little bonus episode last week on the Justice League.
And it seems
or
like
I should say Zack Snyder's. Yeah, well, I mean, judging by the 1 week numbers so far, you guys like us. You really like us. So,
and it means a lot, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We really do appreciate it.
Absolutely. And hey, on the topic of the Justice League, have you taken a glance at the black and white version yet?
I have not, man. Just like I have not watched the black and white version of Logan yet either.
Logan works better because that entire movie had a more muted color scheme. But I watched a little bit of the black and white Justice League, and I was like, it looks cool from an artistic standpoint. But I just can't. There's so much colors in that movie, especially in the second half of the movie. Mm-hmm. I just can't see myself really, like it works for Mad Max, it works for Logan. It can't really work for when the Flash is in the Speed Force,
Yeah, I agree. And
it just looks like he's swirling in vomit. So.
See, like, I feel like it's artistically, but it's not my thing. I like the colors. I have a 4K HDR beautiful TV because I want the colors and I want it to pop. And Zack Snyder's movies, like you just said, are kind of muted anyway, so I don't need the black and white, man. Justice League was dark enough as it is, bro. I'm good.
That is 100% true. That man loves his sepia and his dark. So,
and you know what, man? The dude just fucking created his masterpiece. So by all means, bro, do what you want. Just don't George Lucas the shit out of your movies. Where in 10 years you're gonna re-release it again and put some CGI singing fucking weird alien creature in Jabba's palace, which by the way was the stupidest, creepiest, ugliest thing. It looked like a shitty, cheap ass Pepsi commercial. Fuck you, George Lucas. Sorry.
Yeah, even my fucking kids who are both under 10 years old, we were watching Return of the Jedi, and they were like, what the hell is this? I was like, you know what? This is a long story. I'll tell you when I have like an hour.
Yeah. So sorry. I had a rant about George Lucas.
But yeah, no, exactly. It's, anyways. So, go ahead.
I was like, we're back with more news. Lots and lots of good news, everyone.
Yeah, let's get started with some gaming news. Now, a couple of months ago, Microsoft purchased Bethesda in what is, I would argue, the decade's biggest developer acquisition. Would you agree?
Yeah, the game changing. Yeah. This is the reason I bought an Xbox thing here.
Yeah, so exactly. I forgot the sale price, but it was a gigantic sale, and Microsoft now owns Bethesda. And between then and now, we were kind of talking, everybody was wondering, so, okay, what does that mean for future releases? Because we have some pretty gnarly titles coming out, like, a new Fallout, a new Elder Scrolls, a new Dragon Age, or wait, Dragon Age is not Bethesda, it's BioWare. Forget what I said. So all these big titles coming out, and people are wondering, well, does this mean these are all going to be Xbox exclusives? Like, how is this going to work?
Well, we got Deathloop coming out, too.
Yeah, Deathloop coming out too. Now, existing titles like Deathloop, for instance, those are still going to be multi-platform because they had existing deals in place. But according to Aaron Greenberg's Twitter, most, and this is in quotes, so most future Bethesda titles are going to be first-person exclusives to Xbox. So, and we've talked about this many, many times in the past. Like, you and I have both said it. We buy a PlayStation for first-party exclusives because they have your Tsushimas, your Spider-Mans, your God of Wars, all these titles that just, in terms of quality, cannot be touched by Nintendo or Microsoft. Right. These are your, quote, Oscar-winning quality titles. So now Microsoft has a huge trick up their sleeve with these Bethesda titles. I mean, people are fucking now still playing Skyrim, So, I mean, these titles definitely have longevity and a gigantic fan base. So when they say most, what do you think, Josh? Do you think the next Elder Scrolls 6, Fallout 5, you think those are all going to be exclusive to Xbox? Or are we talking games like, I don't know, Dishonored 3 or something?
I think that you can't take a game like Fallout with the massive fan base that it has, even though, Fallout 76 wasn't that great. But I don't think you can take a game like Fallout or like a Skyrim, which, so many people play, and make it exclusive to an Xbox, just because you're going to lose a lot of the platform players that you have on PlayStation. And PlayStation, and
you would have to make it free on Game Pass as well.
You would, first party. Right? And that's where it's going to be difficult for them to do. But I could see the next Wolfenstein. I could see another another
Dishonored.
Doom, another Dishonored. I could see some of this stuff, of course, being exclusive to Xbox, which I'm all for because I love Wolfenstein. I love the whole Wolfenstein series, dude. I have them all. I fucking love. Like I was just playing Wolfenstein 2 on my PS5 the other night, and I sent you a video of it, dude. It's just fantastic how beautiful it looks and how well the PS5, is doing this. So clearly, but Bethesda and PlayStation still want to have a good relationship because I still want to play on PlayStation. So I think that we're going to see what we saw with Call of Duty, where the games will come out ahead of time on one or the other, like on Xbox or PlayStation, and then you're going to get it where 6 months later it'll come out on the PlayStation, because that's what they were doing with the COD maps for a while.
So let me ask you this then. If they're going to, let's say your theory is true and their quote varsity squad is still going to be multi-platform, so your Elder Scrolls, your Fallouts, and their junior varsity squad is going to be exclusive, so your Wolfensteins. And no offense to these other games, it's just, let's be realistic here. Your other games like your Elder Scrolls, these are your big sellers. Now, do you think that is enough to compete with PlayStation's first party, and or do you think the fact that they're releasing them and just hoping that, being on Game Pass is enough to draw people over is going to be enough?
I think that
they'll still release the multi-platform.
I think the future of video gaming and game ownership is going to be Game Pass. That's where I think that we're going to go. And I think
a subscription-based model.
Yes, subscriptions. Yes, absolutely. And I think that Xbox is in the position where they can roll the dice and do that. PlayStation can't, but Xbox, with everything that they're swooping up and all the acquisitions,
acquisitions,
yes, that they have been making recently, are huge names, and they're doing a lot, which to the point where they would almost corner the market, and they are putting all of their hopes on long-term payments. They know there's not a lot of people who are going to pay $70 whatever for a Wolfenstein 3 Deluxe Edition, but there's a shit ton of people who will pay $14.99 to have Game Pass. So you put that out there, and then you're going to get hooked on this Wolfenstein game. And you're like, holy shit, man, this game is dope. And then they say, hey, man, we're going to give you this game on Game Pass, but now we've released this DLC. So buy this DLC for $5 and buy this for $5. So now you got this great Game Pass game, and you bought the DLC. So now you're going to have to continue your Game Pass subscription, or else you can't use the DLC. And I think that's what they're going to start leaning towards. We're going to start seeing more cross-platform play, I hope. More with, PlayStation, Xbox, PC. Because, we're in a time now where, Xbox and PlayStation, fanboys still battle it out, and PC always sits atop with better graphics and blah blah blah. But we're in a time right now where gaming is great for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're Xbox, PC, PlayStation. You're winning. You're having a great time and you're enjoying it.
Yeah, just look at all these Game Pass games that release at the same time on PC, which you get for free if you have Game Pass. And look at all these PlayStation exclusives that are now coming to PC. So it's starting to meld. And
I think that's where we're gonna go. And I think that it's gonna become timed exclusives on these subscription-based things is what we're going to see. Possibly. Again, I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about 90% of the time, but this is just my gut feeling. And so far, we're pretty good at these gut feelings. And to make an acquisition like Bethesda...
I was going to say, we've been pretty accurate.
Yeah. But knowing with Bethesda, with what the games that they have behind that and the support that they have and the history that Bethesda has, they would be foolish to lock that 100% into Xbox, because you're going to draw a lot of people away, because there's not a lot of people who are going to want to spend another $500 just to have a system and a console just to play Fallout or just to play Wolfenstein. So that's just me, and I think that we're going to see towards the end of this year PlayStation doing something like a Game Pass. They have it now, but being bigger and better, because they've been acquiring developers as well over the past couple months.
They absolutely have. And you know what? I have to go backwards a little bit. You mentioned Fallout 76. I should have showed you when you came over the other day. You should see my fucking home in Fallout 76, because the rest of the game is so kind of meh that I ended up basically using Fallout 76 as adult Minecraft. And I built this fucking home that, if we really were in a post-apocalyptic, reality, that would be the home that everyone tries to kill and take over. It's like a fucking mansion.
Really?
I'll show you next time. It's pretty awesome. I probably spent a good month making just the home and not doing anything else in that game, because once upon a time I had that kind of time,
Dude, see, like I have not been able to do that. Like those games, my kids can sit there in Roblox and all these games and Minecraft and just build this shit and develop it. I think my daughter spent like 3 weeks building a fucking house and customizing her character. And I'm like, dude, and I get frustrated just having to customize my character in Cyberpunk. I'm like, I don't want to do this. Just let me fucking play the game. So big ups to you guys, man.
Cyberpunk's character creation's weird.
I mean, I supported that game, but I like it. I like it. My kids do great things, so yeah, I want to see it. But I heard Fallout 76 is terrible. Is that correct?
It's better now. They've put a bunch of updates into it, and they put like a battle royale mode that's kind of sort of fun. But it's these live service games that launch, they always launch with a bunch of issues, and then you course correct. I mean, it's just, I mean, you may not like it, I may not like it, but that's just kind of the name of the game if you're gonna do a live service game these days. So it's not great. I would still much rather put my time into just regular Fallout, Yeah. But it's definitely better than it was. So I definitely didn't buy it on launch because they had so many issues, but when it was on sale, I forgot how many months ago for super cheap, I was like, all right, may as well.
Yeah.
But then it was in the middle of COVID before we all knew what it was, and I was like, this game hits a little too close to reality right now, so I didn't play it.
Yeah. So see, and that's where I like those games. I like Fallout and stuff, but those are longer, drawn out games. And for me, I think Bethesda hits harder with their Wolfenstein games and with their first person action games, because who doesn't, honestly, if you're out there and you don't, you're a fucking liar. Who doesn't love shooting Nazis in the fucking face? Like, honestly, I mean, come on. Who doesn't love
the cynical half of me is going to say a good portion of the country, as we've seen in the past
couple and that's
years,
bullshit because they probably still do it. And fuck them. Or who doesn't want to go down to Mars and go to the gates of hell and blow up demons' heads? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the fun shit. And it looks good. Seriously. So, dude, I'm excited. Yeah. So, dude, So
it's gonna be an interesting future. I mean, this takes the console wars to a brand new level, and then there's poor Nintendo sitting there going Switch Pro.
Well, exactly right.
But you know what? Nintendo has the last laugh because they sell more units than any of the other two.
Right. Well, and Nintendo, and that's because Nintendo is just like Wu-Tang. It's for the children, and it's amazing because every single person can get a Nintendo Switch and play it, whether you're 70, whether you're 90, whether you're 6, and you can get it for everybody. And you can put it on the bus when you're on a commute. You can play it on the train. You can play it on an airport. You can take it in your car. You can play it in your office. You can play it in your home office. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do with it. I shit you not, I took my Switch when I was traveling for work before COVID, and I'm at the San Diego airport and I'm playing Mario Kart on it, and there's a family and there was a kid next to me. He's probably like 11 or 12, and he was kind of looking at it, man. I put the Switch down, popped off the controllers, and me and him played a round of Mario Kart.
Yeah, I was.
You can't fucking do that with anything else.
Bring that up because I remember back in the day, I would take my Switch with me to like Red Robin, and the kids would play Mario Kart while we were waiting for our order.
Right. Me and my boy, we
do that with an Xbox.
When I went up and visited my boy in Reno, man, we both took them and we went to a brewery, dropped them down and played them. And that's why Switch sells more. And that's why Switch doesn't care about, and that's why, hey, we're going to get a Switch Pro coming out from what we heard with an OLED screen, and it's going to look great, and it's going to be 4K with the adapter, and it's going to be dope, and I love it because I can't wait to see Mario in 4K HDR. But don't expect to have fucking Spider-Man graphics on the Nintendo because that's not what the Nintendo's for. The Nintendo is for your whole family to sit there and play Mario Kart and talk shit to your 9-year-old. That's what it's for.
Yeah, they've never, ever, ever cared about being the most powerful graphically. And you know what? For every other system they've launched, they haven't needed to care about it. I mean, they've always been the best seller of whatever console generation. And it's funny that I bring that up. It's every other console that they've launched. Have you noticed that that's kind of, they have one console that's a success and beats out everyone else, and then they have their next follow-up console that bombs, and then the one after that is a success, and the next one bombs. It's just kind of always how it works with Nintendo. But
well, what's crazy is that the Wii U was super ahead of its time because look where we are with the Switch.
It really was,
dude. I still have mine it's in a bag somewhere. But like I love.
I set mine up in my kids' room without a TV, and they can just play in there. They'll play Super Mario 3D World or because I still got
the Skyward Sword and shit that I like to play. I just got to hook it up. But I mean, it's basically it was a Switch before the Switch, and it's crazy to see that that they're changing the video game, every single time, and PlayStation and Xbox just make it look better and play better. And it's great that they're two completely different, contrasting video game types, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo, but they're so great at what they do that it's almost like, I don't know, it's weird. You can't have one without the other, I feel. I don't know if that makes any sense.
You really can't. Yeah. I mean, let's not forget that the Wii launched, and it had the motion controls and it was groundbreaking and everything. And then not too long after that, Sony goes, our PS3 controllers are also going to have motion controls. And here we go, today.
But dude, how many people
with the motion and everything?
If you tell me right now you did not love just cracking some beers and playing Wii bowling, you're a fucking liar. Because everybody did that, dude. Oh my god. Yep. Oh my god. Okay, let's get off this Nintendo shit, or else we're just going to sit here and reminisce about being kids all day.
Yeah, let's move on. So, one of the most anticipated titles for me, anyways, when they did DC Fandom last year was Gotham Knights, because, I love the fucking Arkham games. I love the fact that this looks like it's going to be, at the very least, multiplayer co-op, and, I just like these characters. I like Robin, I like Batgirl, I like all of them, and it looks good. Well, good news and bad news. I think it's both. But Gotham Knights has been confirmed to be delayed until 2022. Now, bad news, because I have no patience, and I really want to be able to play this. Good news, because we all know what happens to games when they release half-baked and rushed.
Cyberpunk.
Now, I want to say, cough, cough, looking at you, Cyberpunk. But lest we forget, they had an 8-year development period, so they're kind of the outlier in this whole thing. But yeah, no one likes playing a game that very clearly should not have released and should have been delayed. And I'm glad to see Rocksteady, or not Rocksteady, WB Montreal, I believe, is the developer.
Yes.
I'm glad to see them going, look, this game's not ready. We're not going to rush it out. We're going to release it when it's ready.
And you know what I think this is? I think it has to do with, again, kind of what we had talked about on episodes is gamers and purchasers and buyers of these products are starting to get back at developers and say, yo, man, quit fucking doing this shit to us. Like you saw with the uproar with Cyberpunk. So, of course, they're going to want to do this because there's a lot of hype around this game because you also have the Suicide Squad game that's supposed to be coming out in 2022 as well. And that's supposed to actually take place like in the Arkham, fucking universe and all that kind of shit. So, I'm kind of excited about that. So, there's a lot of pressure. So, I think that they're trying to follow up on, what they did with Batman Arkham Origins and all that kind of stuff and take the time because there is a lot of hype behind this. There's not a lot of, and I don't want to say quote unquote pressure, but there's a lot of pressure for this game to be good.
Well, there absolutely is a lot of pressure, especially, you have this, you have Suicide Squad. I know they're not the same development studios, but they may as well be at this point, And then you have that rumored Superman game that takes place in the Arkham universe as well. I mean, there's a ton of pressure on these guys to deliver. Because everyone's going to look at Avengers and be like, don't do that.
Right. And don't get me wrong, Avengers is fun, but do not do that.
Yeah, do not do that. Yeah. I'm having fun with Kate Bishop. I'm actually getting back into the game. But, there was a good, 6-month period where I didn't touch it.
I didn't even turn it back on until the upgrade came out for the next gen. And playing Kate Bishop is fun, and I love it. And my kids are enjoying it too because they're watching me playing. Like, oh my god, that's so cool! And like they're watching and they're playing it too, which is cool. But again, I'm kind of getting burnt out with it because I'm like, oh look, it's the same level again. I'm on the Eastern Seaboard. Yeah. Oh, I'm in Utah. Oh, so. Yep. But looks great.
It is
plays
quite
great.
literally the same five levels that we've played, and it's the same. You fight Abomination, you fight Taskmaster. Yep. Rinse and repeat. Give me someone else, man.
And, I think they will, only because of what we've seen with, the Wakanda trailer, like with Black Panther.
Yeah.
Because that looks good. And maybe and it looks like they're building Wakanda. Like we're going to get another world, hopefully, which is what I'm hoping because...
So we can have another 3 levels to rinse and repeat. I'm being cynical here, but I get it.
But and then hopefully they'll end up getting Spider-Man, which would be dope, which will bring in New York. So maybe...
And Captain Marvel.
Yes. Which will bring in space to it.
Some space levels.
So, maybe they're going to do that. I mean, they sold us a lot of stuff when we bought this game, so they better keep making it.
Mm-hmm. Don't do an Anthem and just give up.
Yeah, but I think that they're going to do good. I think that delaying it till 2022 is a smart thing. And by announcing it now as opposed to waiting till it's a week from the release date or anything like that, lets people just take a breath and say, cool. Because honestly, as excited I am for this game, if this game was to come out in 6 months, I'd buy it, but I wouldn't play it for a year because I have a fucking backlog of shit I still need to play.
Yep.
So, dude, do it, man.
All right, let's
pause that motherfucker.
Yeah, delay it, make it right, and we'll give you our money. So,
and I'll keep giving it to you.
Moving along. Did you play the demo for Outriders?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Okay, it's fun. It was more fun than I thought. Picture it as a live service game in the vein of Destiny, but more gears than a first-person shooter, and you basically have Outriders.
Badass.
So it's kind of fun. Like if Gears of War was a live service, online co-op / multiplayer type game like a Destiny, that's roughly what Outriders will be. So now, prior to this news dropping, I was under the impression, and it could just be me not doing my research. I'll totally take that. But I was under the impression that it was a PlayStation exclusive game. But now we have an announcement that Outriders is not only coming to Xbox, but it's coming to fucking Xbox as a Game Pass game, which means I don't have to buy it. Because I was going to buy it, and that's $60 saved or $70 saved right there. What do you think? You think obviously now that it's free, quote unquote, under the Game Pass subscription, you gonna try it out?
Absolutely.
Because you may not have before if you had to pay $60.
Well, dude, this for me, and this is why again I think that the future of gaming is Game Pass, and Xbox is the head of the game, because there are games that I would have never fucking played that I'm playing now. Outriders is gonna be one of those games. Gears, like I like Gears, but I never fucking played Gears 4 because I just didn't care. I got tired of spending all that money for the same game.
I never bought one Gears game. Ever, because it just wasn't my thing, but I've played all of them, and that's all due to Game Pass.
Absolutely. Like Alien Isolation, for instance, is a great slow-paced horror game that
it is, yeah.
and it's on Game Pass. So I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna play that. And there's a game that I just texted you about the other night, Genesis Noir. And it's a Game Pass game, and it really is just like a point-and-click, 2D kind of platformer, old school, but it's got
it's like an adventure game.
Yeah, but it's got like classic noir jazz, and it's all just kind of drawn with a pencil in black and white. It looks like an old school.
I'll try it out. That sounds right up my alley.
Right, it's really sick. I feel like it would play just as well on a cell phone personally, but it's really cool, and I would never play this game. It's not worth any money, but it belongs on Game Pass. I'm going to fucking play it. So Outriders, you're right, I'm going to play it, and I think that this right here just speaks volumes to what I was saying earlier, that Game Pass is the future, that this is what they're banking on.
Yep. I completely agree, and right there, you should have a much bigger player base for your servers and everything on Outriders than you probably would have had if you made it an exclusive and or a pay only game. So I think it's a good move. I had a lot of fun with the demo. It looks fantastic, and the only downside is I'm not going to get any haptics, but that's life.
Yeah.
It's a small problem in the overall scheme of life. If that's my only issue, then I'm having a pretty good life.
Well, what you need to do, though, is you need to get your money, and this is for anybody listening. If you haven't yet, get yourself an Xbox Elite controller. It is really, for me, it's leaps and bounds ahead of one you got with it. It is 100% worth the money just to be able to customize the triggers for driving games and shooting games and having the bumpers and stuff. It makes my Xbox and the gaming that I have just feel that much better because it's heavier. I
have 4 Xbox controllers, though. I can't justify dropping almost $200 on, and I have that Astro C40 for my PlayStation, which is basically an Elite for the PlayStation.
And you have that for your PlayStation, but now your DualShock is way better than that Elite controller. Then you're
with the haptics. Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. Yeah.
So and just for me, like it changed gaming for me because it's even sicker when I'm doing driving games and stuff. But it makes the Xbox feel that much more next gen with just that controller. Isn't
there a bunch of drift issues though?
No.
Like people keep having to return them.
There was when I had mine for a year with my other Xbox with my One X, and then when I got the Series X, I started to notice it, and I took it in and just replaced it because I had the exchange from Best Buy, and I haven't had an issue with it. So I don't know if it was the older models, but with the new model, I haven't had a single issue with it.
So it's probably similar to the drift issues with the Nintendo Switch, just small percentage, and they'll fix it if it happens.
Yeah, and but what's cool is that I was playing Dirt 5. I'm not a racing guy game. I don't really dig racing car games, but you showed it to me at your house, and I'm like, fuck, this game is fun. So, but I have,
it really is.
So my gas is, of course, the right trigger, but I made my right bumper on the bottom, my brake, so it's easier to drift, and I'm just using one side of my controller, so I don't have to focus. It just
oh, cool, okay.
Yeah, and it just changes that for me, so then I can turn off everything, so just the left for me is nothing but steering, and everything is with the right, so I'm just using the fingers, and it's drifting, and it just makes driving easier. It just makes it better, and I can tell, I'm going to get a fucking edge on this. So, dude, it's totally worth it just for that.
You're going to make me spend an extra $200, aren't you?
But it really does. It really does. It feels like it was made for the Series X because it makes the next-gen games feel that much better. That's just my opinion. It doesn't feel like cheap plastic shaking in your hand. It feels like I got a next-gen controller and I'm fucking gaming.
And really, the only thing I would be losing is that share button, which I don't think I've used once anyways.
No, fuck, you don't know who uses the share button. Plus, you just hit the Xbox button, bing, you go to your menu and you scroll to share.
Yep.
Like take
screenshot. You remember when we used to have Connects and you'd be like, Xbox, take screenshot.
And it was just, yes, dude, you know what? And it sucked. So now we're moving back to the button stuff, dude. But man, the share button doesn't
I liked
matter.
the Kinect, man. I know a lot of people didn't, but I was all in on the Kinect, and I was using it to navigate my Xbox dashboard. I was doing like the Kinect workouts and everything.
Dude,
I was fucking all in on that.
Dude, we would have dance parties and shit. Like, we would do the Kinect and do dance parties, and we would just get drunk and dance, and we would do hole in the wall where you would have to fucking match the hole in the wall and stuff. Man, it was fun.
Yup.
I liked it. They had the
Star Wars game, that was fun.
They had the adventures where like you were in the raft and dude, it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on. So PlayStation is doing this thing, and it started with Ratchet and Clank, where it's not part of PlayStation Plus, it's not part of PlayStation Now, where every couple of months they'll just be like, here's a free game for everyone.
Yep.
And it started with 2016's Ratchet and Clank, and now we're getting word that the next free game will be on April 19th. It'll be Horizon Zero Dawn, but the complete edition. Now, I already own Horizon Zero Dawn, but not the the Frozen Wilds DLC or any of the other DLC.
Yeah.
So it looks like I'll be able to get all that DLC for free because this is going to be the complete edition.
Now, I thought all that DLC was free with the PlayStation Plus version now.
I do not know. I never looked. I beat Horizon Zero Dawn when it came out, and I haven't touched it since.
Okay, because I have it on the PlayStation
waiting.
Plus collection. I got it from the PlayStation collection. I don't know if it's a complete edition or not.
Oh, I'm willing to bet it's just the base game.
Okay.
I don't think stuff like that usually throws DLC in for free. Like just like Game Pass, you usually don't get DLC with it.
True.
So, but on top of that, they're also releasing like 9 other PS4 and PSVR games. Now, those are already out. I got a notification the other day saying these new play-at-home games are out.
Yes.
What you need to do, Josh, is go online right now and download a game called Res Infinite and have some fucking fun with it. What you got to do is download Res Infinite. It's available in VR and just regular PS4. Mm-hmm. Take a couple hits off your bong and have at it.
Yeah,
I'm dead serious. I'm not even trying to be funny right now. I'm dead serious.
Res?
Get high, play it. REZ Infinite.
Res Infinite, there it is.
It was an old PS2 game that they just kept remastering over and over and over.
Perfect. I'm adding it to my library. There you go.
Yep.
All right, man.
Did you ever play Tetris Connect? Or is it Tetris Connect? Not Tetris Connect. Tetris, the VR one. I forgot what it was called.
I don't think
it's free on Game Pass as well.
I might have. Probably.
Okay. It's kind of like an acid trip, and you don't have to think too hard to play it because, it's not that hard. And it's just a good combination of visuals and audio that kind of, like I said, it feels like an acid trip. Not that I would know. I've never dropped acid, but, you know what I mean. Well, so Res Infinite is similar to that. It's not a hard game, but it's a musical and visual kind of, it's a journey. It's a mind fuck.
All right,
so it's a lot of fun. I remember playing it back in the day. I remember playing it drunk, and it was super fun.
Well, I will definitely check it out. I am excited about this.
So I think this looks like a thing that PlayStation's going to continue doing, just taking these games that, these classic last gen, possibly 2 gens ago, possibly current gen, I don't know, games that are considered PlayStation classics, and just giving them away. I mean, like I said, these games, Ratchet and Clank and Horizon Zero Dawn Complete, you don't have to be a subscriber to PS Plus or anything like that to redeem them.
No, you just...
Which brings up the question, who the fuck are you to have a PlayStation 4 or 5 and not be a PS Plus subscriber?
Right.
You can't even do anything online without it.
See, but I think this is what PlayStation's doing, because basically by giving away these games free, they're like, yo, buy a PlayStation, and you don't have to buy a game because we're giving it to you. This is instead of buying a fucking bundle.
Yes.
Like, I mean, you no longer have to go out and buy the Ratchet and Clank bundle, Like
the current modern version of bundling fucking Duck Hunt with
absolutely. So it's like, I don't have what am I going to play with the PlayStation? Oh shit, I can get Horizon Zero Dawn and Ratchet and Clank as a bundle with my PS5 if I can actually find one anywhere. Okay, cool. And that's what they're doing with it. But these games are great. Like, if you haven't played Ratchet and Clank from 2016, still looks fucking amazing, bro.
It's so good.
Horizon
So
Zero
good.
Dawn, I downloaded it. Dude, I loved it. It's fucking awesome. I don't play it as much because I started playing it and I downloaded Control, and then Control took over. Then I started shooting Nazis in the face. It's a long story. But anyways, though, I want to go
Isn't
back.
that a good problem to have?
It is, man. I mean, it's a great first world problem. But Horizon,
It's the best problem
dude,
to have.
it is. But if you're not a PlayStation Plus subscriber, you should be, because it's fucking awesome. But if not, I highly recommend getting Horizon Zero Dawn because it's great visually. It's beautiful. It plays so well on the PS5. And it's got a great story, and it's also really cool that, you know, to have a game with a female protagonist like this that's leading the way. That's you know, that's just a badass female, and I dig it, man. You know, I was playing it, and my daughters were sitting there watching me play, and it's just really cool. Like, and it's a beautiful game, and it gives you this whole like otherworldliness of like past civilizations, but futuristic with robots and technology. So it's dope. Check it out.
All they need to do now is release a 60 frames per second patch, because they have a performance mode in there, but it's not 60. I don't know if you've tried going between graphics and performance, but yeah, it's not 60.
Well, see, I was an
it's
idiot.
still a gorgeous game, and I beat it on 30, so I don't know what I'm bitching about, but I would love to play it again all the way through, just like God of War on 60.
You're spoiled. And like, see, for me, for the longest time, I never
100%.
did. I never did performance mode. I was always a graphics mode guy. So I've always played in like 30 frames. I just wanted that 4K beautifulness.
Same.
But now that I'm going back,
but it's hard to go back now.
It is, because, whoo, man, going back when I'm playing Spider-Man like remastered. Oh man, I'm just like, oh my god, this is so nice. I'm sorry, man, but apparently I've been playing games wrong my whole life.
Well, like Cyberpunk, I've been playing the entire time I played Cyberpunk on 1080p, 60 frames per second. I tried 4K at 30.
Yeah.
I don't know why I suddenly can't play games at 30 anymore, but, you know, apparently I just need to wait for the patch when it's 4K at 60.
Oh man, like
It is.
I can play them. It does not upset me. It's just crazy to think that that's not something that I thought would be that big of a deal, because I'm like, whatever, do 30 frames, 60 frames. But dude, playing a game at 60 frames per second, it really is. It's like, whoo.
It's a huge difference.
So I was a fool.
It's much more of a difference with racing games and shooters, I think, if you're a Call of Duty guy or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, games like Skyrim, I don't give a shit if it's in 60. It's nice because it looks nicer, but you know, at the end of the day, just like you said, we played every last generation and generations prior to that at most games at 30 frames per second, and we all survived.
Well, dude, what's crazy is that back to earlier, I was fucking playing Dirt 5, and it was so sick because I was playing on the Xbox. So just so smooth, and watching the dirt accumulate and watching the car, it's just everything, because I can't drive, so I'm fucking destroying my car anyways. Dude, but it's so smooth, and I'm like, man, I don't know how this would look played any other way, but at 60 frames per second with 4K. It's just I'm mind blown at where we are. It's just.
Oh, we should have tried 120 frames per second on my TV, but I wanted to see if you could tell the difference, because I couldn't. Between 60 and 120, it's minimal. Between 30 and 60, it's a whole different world, sure. But between 60 and 120, it's not worth it to me to lose the graphical fidelity.
But that's what I'm thinking too, because a lot of these games, I mean, don't do 120 well yet. I mean, they're kind of made for the 60 frames. So you're going to be hard pressed. I would say, this time next year we'll have more, but who knows?
Yeah. So let's really quick take an ad break, and we'll see you in a little bit. And I'm a liar. We don't have an ad. Haha. Tricked everyone.
Tricked you.
No, it was because I'm an idiot and forgot to whatever. So shall we move on to some other news other than gaming?
We shall.
All right. Now this next thing on the list, I kind of wanted to bring up during the Justice League episode, but we were kind of crunched for time when we were recording that. I want to get your thoughts, and I'm pretty sure I already know, because I think you and I kind of share the same feelings towards Snyder's, the Snyderverse, but I don't know if you've been on our Speak Geek Facebook page recently, and if not, but for people listening out there, we do have a Facebook page. Just look up Speak Geek and subscribe. Follow us.
Please.
But have you seen the comments on the Snyder Cut episode?
No, I have not.
It's all hashtag. Here, let me go to it real quick. I forgot what it was. It's not released the Snyder Cut. It's
the Snyderverse.
We have a number of comments. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Restore the Snyderverse.
Wow.
which I know is trending worldwide right now because, and it's really fucking weird. You have the success of the Snyder Cut releasing. It's clearly a success. Everyone's saying it's better. A ton of people are watching it. And then WB goes, yeah, no, we're done with the Snyderverse. They have something against Zack Snyder that I will never understand.
I don't get it.
But you would think from a business perspective, they would look at it and go, oh, it's clear millions and millions of people like the Snyder Cut, so we should continue Zack Snyder's plans. It doesn't have to even follow the canon of the movies right now because DC's leaning into the multiverse anyways. So this is the easy. They're handed this opportunity on a fucking silver platter, and Warner Brothers, for whatever inexplicable reason, goes, nope, we're done with Zack Snyder.
Yeah, but
now Restore the Snyderverse is trending worldwide.
Yeah, see, man, no, I don't want it. I'm gonna diverge from you on this. I don't want it because I think that what we've got so far is fine. I think that when you look at Marvel's Avengers, for instance, Marvel's Avengers isn't one person's vision all the way through. Star Wars isn't one person's vision all the way through. Neither is the Avengers. None of it all is. It's all different people.
That's the thing. You have this leaning into the multiverse where you're crossing movies and TV and Michael Keaton and all that. Mm-hmm. The DC vision doesn't have to be Snyder's single vision. His single vision could just be one facet of the multiverse. It could be the Snyderverse for all we care. Earth 5 billion.
Yeah, but we've already got Man of Steel, and we've got Batman v Superman, and we got Justice League.
You don't want to see like an Injustice movie with Joker and all the nightmare stuff?
I would maybe down the road, but I want to. but again, I would down the road, but I also want to see where we're going to go with Flashpoint first. I want to see where we're going to go with Aquaman 2. I want to see what we're going to do with Shazam. I want to see what we're going to do with Black Adam. I want to see all that stuff.
You know what'll probably happen because the Snyder cut of Zack Snyder's Justice League was completely bankrolled by HBO.
Yeah. Warner
Brothers, even though they own HBO, they really had nothing to do with it. So I would not. And I'm curious how you would feel about this. If Zack Snyder's, quote, universe were to continue, but as an HBO Max thing, as opposed to Warner Brothers putting their money and taking away from Flashpoint or Aquaman or Suicide Squad, what would you think of that?
Again, I don't know how I would feel about that. And I like Zack Snyder. I like what Zack Snyder's done. I like that. But I still want to see... I want to see more. I think that we've got Man of Steel, we've got Batman v Superman, and we got Justice League. So we've gotten that, and that's good. If they want to say, look, man, let's make a Justice League Dark, or let's make this nightmare scenario, and let's make it as a TV show, and let's have Zack Snyder direct and produce the first 2 episodes and then change on, I'm fine with that, because that's what they did with Ash vs. Evil Dead, for instance, when they brought it to Stars. Sam Raimi said, man, I don't want to do this anymore. The fans want it. I get it, man, but let's do something else. So Sam Raimi came out, produced the first and directed the first couple episodes, and we got 3 seasons of basically an 8-hour Ash Evil Dead movie. So, like, if they're going to do something like that, and then cool, man. But Snyder gave us everything with Justice League, and I feel that the expectations were great. But, like I said before, HBO, Zack Snyder, and everybody had 4 years of hindsight to look at what everybody said, to look at what everybody hated about this movie and change it. And while I will sit here and suck the dick of Justice League, Zack Snyder's version, because it was that good until somebody changes my mind. Zack Snyder is not this amazing, game-changing, mind-blowing director. 300 was great, but it's also just kind of workout buff guy porn. But it's a good movie. I love Man of Steel, but not a lot of people liked Man of Steel. I liked you and me can sit here and talk about how great Batman v Superman is and how it's a damn near perfect superhero movie with the extended cut because it's really, really that well done. But you're going to find twice as many people who fucking hate it. And HBO knows that, and there's only so much that you can say, hey, we're all in on Zack Snyder. Just like for the longest time, Disney was all in on Joss Whedon as the Avengers, and look what happened with that. You know what I mean? So again, Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope is amazing because it's a new story. George Lucas directed it. But if you want to sit here and break down Empire is the best Star Wars movie, and George Lucas didn't direct it. He didn't even write it.
100%.
He didn't even write it. So that's where it's like, we got the Star Wars verse, and it's different ideas, different plans, and that's why you get what you get. But I don't know. I think Snyder did what he had to do to put it on the map, but let's change the game going forward. Let's get new visionaries. Let's get new directors. Let's get new ideas in here.
I could totally get on board with that,
And that's where, if you're going to do that and go forward with it, then fuck yeah, let's do that. But if you're going to keep it the same and release these older stories, then I don't want it anymore, man. Let's move forward. There's fucking 1.5 million stories that need to be told. Let's tell them.
Yeah. Speaking of 300, did you ever try the 300 workout when the movie first came out back in the day? It was like, what, 2006?
Yes. I tried it. Fuck
you
that.
tried it too? There was a point in my life, and I'm kind of bummed thinking about this. There was a point in my life where I could do the 300 workout. And now just reading it makes me muscle cramp, you know?
I mean, like, when the 300 workout came out, I was still, like, military tip-top shape looking great. And, did it fine, but
I was in much better shape,
There is no reason possible for anybody to do that. There is no reason for anybody other than
just like the Bruce Wayne
athlete.
workout that Affleck did.
Right.
Yeah, no reason for a human to do that.
Why do you need to follow The Rock's diet? No, I would love to look like The Rock, but I also don't want to put in that amount of time. Like, I'm sorry, dude.
Because then you have these fitness influencers and CrossFitters on Instagram that are all douchey and they like to show off their workouts and take pictures with their girlfriends where they're grabbing their asses and stuff, and I just want to slap all of them across the face and run away real fast because they could probably kick my ass.
No, it's all show muscle.
That's exactly what it. It's hilarious that you brought that up because when I was a kid, I would look at Schwarzenegger and be like, "Oh my god, he could probably destroy everyone." And my dad's like, "You really think Schwarzenegger can fight, or is it all just show muscle?" It's hilarious that you brought that up because that always stuck with me.
Show muscle. And don't get me wrong, if he punched you in the face, that shit would fucking hurt. It'd probably knock you the fuck out. But I mean, like, if Dolph Lundgren hits you in the face, he'll probably kill you. He stopped Stallone's heart. But I mean, he's a freak of nature, and that's what happens.
Well, that's why you have these Bruce Lee movies where he fights a giant, muscly Russian guy, but Bruce Lee fucking wins because he's the one who knows how to fight and kill you.
And that's where you use your own energy against you. It's interesting. I love it. But back to this.
You remember that show that was on the History Channel? I forgot what it was called, but they would take like warriors from different time periods and like pit them against each other in like a theoretical fight. So you had like, I don't know, like someone from the Crusades fighting like a Shaolin monk.
Yes.
And they would tell you why this person would win. You remember that?
I do. And it was only for like a few episodes because it was like, why the fuck would I care? But I remember that. They were using, I
remember getting into a fight with my coworkers because there was one episode where it was a New Zealand Maori warrior versus a Shaolin monk, and the show was like the Shaolin monk wins, and the guy's like, oh, but these Maori warriors are so much stronger. I was like, yeah, but they would never touch the Shaolin monk just off of speed.
Yeah, that's true.
Ever. So, yeah, that was a fun show. Yeah, I just remembered it now.
That's funny.
But let's move on. Since we're on the topic of the DC Universe and moving forward and the not Zack Snyder verse, let's talk about this really, really cool piece of casting news that caught me off guard, but I am super horny about it. Pierce Brosnan has been cast as Dr. fucking Fate in the Black Adam movie, who I didn't even know was going to be in the Black Adam movie. But Pierce Brosnan's one of my favorite actors. I mean, not just because of James Bond, but fucking Thomas Crown Affair. Even his role in Mrs. Doubtfire, I love. So,
help is
what do you think
about it? I saw it, Derek. It was a run by fruiting. He hit him in the back of the head with a lime. Who does that?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. You know what though? I'm sorry, real quick, Mrs. Doubtfire. I love that movie, and I went back to rewatch it the other day, and the part where Robin Williams is sitting there in the office, and he's like, we come to this planet looking for intel, and he keeps riffing and to keep showing the clips. In my head, yes. I'm like, dude, if I'm that actress, I quit. Like, I could not, I love Robin Williams to death, but I could not sit there and just listen to him do that. I'd be like, will you shut up now? I get it. Okay, will you shut up? Will you shut up? For hours listening to Robin Williams do that, I would become an alcoholic. I'm like, I can't do this. Because even watching the movie, I'm like, all right, guys, I get it. Okay, I get it. We're still going. Yeah, we're still going. Oh, one more. Oh, two more. Okay. Yeah, no, bad. But God, sorry. Go ahead. Great movie.
The genius of that man. I mean, untouchable.
R.I.P. Legend.
Yep.
So,
but what do you think? Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. I don't know how familiar you are with Dr. Fate. We've never actually talked about the character, but he's shown up in a bunch of DC shows. I mean, he was in Smallville. He showed up in Legends of Tomorrow. And, you know, I mean, this is a big character in the overall pantheon of DC heroes, but he's not one of the, you know, he's not one of your A-listers. So he very rarely gets talked about. He's not even a B-lister, to be honest. I mean, this is, you know, this is deep in the woods here.
Wow. Yeah, see, I don't know anything about Dr. Fate. I don't know much about Black Adam.
I'll explain him to you right now in one phrase. He is the DC Doctor Strange.
Perfect. Then you can now.
He's not a sorcerer. Now the magic is different, but he is roughly the DC version of Doctor Strange.
So is he one of the three? No, because he's not really a wizard. He's a sorcerer because a sorcerer is a wizard without a hat. You know, we'll get the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
The helmet is what gives, I forgot his real name, but you put it on, you become a Dr. Fate. There's been many Dr. Fates, you know, some of them women, some of them men, whatever, but it's kind of like a Green Lantern ring in that you need the helmet to become Dr. Fate. But then, yes, it's all magic and shit.
The more Pierce Brosnan we can get, the better off the world will be. I think dude's a great actor. I mean, I love his Bond movies. I think he was a great take on the Bond in the 90s and the early aughts. He was great when he needed to be. So I think this is cool. This is good casting, especially in the Black Adam movie. We've already got Dwayne The Rock Johnson, which is great. Now, I love The Rock.
Plus, he can sing, like in Mamma Mia.
Thank you. I'm glad you brought up Mamma Mia, because I was going to be like, you know, I want to see backstage videos of The Rock and Pierce Brosnan singing, because you know what's going to fucking happen.
I know,
and
right?
I want them. Oh, I want them. But I like this, man.
I just hope I can age as gracefully as Pierce Brosnan. Judging by my current health, probably not, but...
Oh, you know, also, side note, speaking of, like, The Rock, did you hear that Prince William was voted, like, most handsomest bald man, which is bullshit, because dude looks like a shaved mouse, and you got someone like... Come
on!
Yeah. Anyways, though, stupid.
Come on. The fact that you and I weren't considered is a
fuck right, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you got The Rock.
It would be The Rock.
Jason Statham, me. Like, what the fuck? But dude, I like this, man. I like the fact that they're building this Black Adam movie, and I feel like, see, this right here, I think is going to be a relaunching point. And a lot of the movies in DC get overlooked, like Shazam, because Shazam was fucking great. I've seen Shazam like 3 or 4 times.
It was so good, yeah.
And I think that Shazam and Black Adam are going to be these launching points for the future of DC, and that's where it's like, keep the Snyderverse to the back. We've already got it. Let's move forward. So you're bringing in Pierce Brosnan, which is a huge actor.
What other superhero movie have you seen where the villain and the hero are in the air yelling threats at each other, and the hero goes, "I can't hear you, dude. You're like a mile away. I can't hear you." That was funny as shit.
Yeah, that was. So, dude, man,
you're right, though. You're right. I love Zack Snyder's vision, and I kind of want to see his story all the way through, just because I know he has it planned out. But at the same time, how could you not be excited about what they're doing with, you know, Flashpoint and Black Adam moving forward?
And I think bringing in Pierce Brosnan to go alongside The Rock is going to elevate the movie, because The Rock is a good action actor in his own right. He's not an amazing actor. He's not the best actor. Personally, to me, I think Batista is a better actor than The Rock. That's just me. But
whoever thought that sentence would come out of our mouths? But you're right.
Nobody ever. But it's really crazy that's just how it looks. Look at Spy. Look at the way. Anyways, that's not important. But I think that bringing in Pierce Brosnan to act alongside The Rock is going to elevate The Rock. I think it's going to elevate the movie, and Pierce Brosnan brings a level of realness and seriousness to this movie. So I think that it's going to be great.
And a level of he's just so debonair and just so much class. You know, he elevates it just by being Pierce Brosnan.
So yeah,
you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man. Sorry. I just kind of like drew a blank for a second.
Oh, I thought we lost connection again.
No.
I was like, my God, brand new phone, and I'm still losing.
No. We are good. My bad.
Okay. So yeah, we're both excited about Pierce Brosnan joining as Dr. Fate. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great. But since we're on the topic, we just mentioned Flashpoint a couple of times. We got some casting shakeups, I guess you could call it, for the Flash.
Yes.
Now, Billy, is it crud up or crude up? I don't know. He played Henry Allen in Batman vs Superman and Justice League, and we're now hearing that he's, you know, not for any bad reasons, just I don't think the scheduling worked out. He's been dropped as Henry Allen, and fucking Ron Livingston from Office Space and Band of Brothers is now going to be the new Henry Allen. What do you think of that?
Dude, I'm fine with that. Ron Livingston is good. I've liked him. You know,
I love Ron Livingston.
Everything that he's been in, he's been great. So,
Sex and the City as well.
I never watched Sex and the City. When I first heard about Sex and the City, I was like, oh yeah,
My
Sex
ex
and the
did.
City. Then I watched it and I was like, there was no sex, just a city. Oh, then I was like, oh, this is a show for chicks,
There
and
was
I'm a
plenty of
teenage
sex,
boy.
dude.
Why am I watching this? So I turned it off. But dude, I think that's pretty cool, man. I do like
he's a good actor.
I like Ron Livingston. Plus the fact that Andy Muschietti is doing Flash, who did It, which I really fucking love, and It too. And he's a good director, so I know that he knows what he's doing, and I'm really excited for what's going to happen. So, I mean, it's a minor casting, I'm assuming, but if this is making the headlines is like, hey, Ron Livingston's coming in, I wonder if we're going to have a much bigger role. If he's going to have a much bigger role in this movie, than we had originally thought.
Well, here's my thing on that, and this leads into our next piece of news about Nora Allen being cast, because we now have a Nora Allen, Flash's mom. Mm-hmm. So, the modern story of Barry Allen, and this was a major selling point of Flashpoint, and a major story point in just Barry Allen in a whole, is that as a kid, he shows up one day, and they touched on this in the show a lot. He comes home from school one day, finds his mother dead, and long story short, turns out Reverse Flash goes back in time to kill his mom. Yeah. And that Flash only becomes Flash because of what Reverse Flash does. Now, in the Flashpoint story, Barry goes, fuck this, I'm going back in time and I'm stopping it.
Yeah.
So he saves his mom from being killed, but changes the entire reality, and then you have the Flashpoint universe. So the fact that we actually have Nora Allen cast, and that there's going to be a Nora Allen in the Flash movie, makes me think even more that we are going to see Reverse Flash. He's my favorite villain of all time between Marvel and DC. I don't know if I've ever told you this.
You have.
But Eobard Thawne, Reverse Flash, is my absolute favorite. And I just want to see... I mean, I loved him on the show. I love Tom Cavanaugh's portrayal of him. And I forgot the other guy that plays him. But I absolutely need to see him on the big screen. And the casting of Nora Allen makes me think that we are going to get... in some way, shape, or form, this story of Eobard killing Nora Allen and Barry going back to save her life.
You think so?
You would think so, yeah.
Huh. I mean, again...
but the more I'm hearing about this Flash movie, the more I'm excited, because it just seems like the Flash movie I've always wanted.
So, I'm not a huge Flash guy, and we've talked about this countless times. I love the Flash that we saw in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and made me more excited. I am super excited for this Flashpoint movie because I like the fact that the time travel and everything else, and you get me excited about Flash. So I'm pretty excited about this, and from what you're telling me, again, I don't know much about this, and your excitement gets me excited. If that makes sense.
I'm just more excited that it seems to be more stable in the development process now, because it wasn't that long ago where they were dropping directors left and right and screenwriters, and this movie just couldn't seem to get off the ground. But now we're getting casting news. I mean, it's got to be at least a considerable bit further along than what it was 2 years ago.
And then it makes me wonder, though, and again, a concern, just me, if DC is going to try to rush this Flashpoint movie, even though they've been working on it for a while, because they know that Spider-Man 3 is going to have all this time travel in the multiverse and stuff.
Yeah, but this movie's not coming out until, they say 2022, I'm saying 2023. I don't think they're rushing it at all.
I hope so. I mean, again, I agree with you. It doesn't seem like they are, but it's kind of like, I just don't want them...
I wouldn't be shocked if they had to get a new director at some point, just because that seems to be the fate of this movie.
Yeah, I just don't want them to do one of these things where, where we end up having... I guess the best example would be like a Dante's Peak in a volcano, or a Deep Impact in Armageddon. Like, I mean, I
cannot believe you fucking brought that up, because number one, I've seen all 4 of those movies.
Yeah, me too. Who hasn't?
Number 2, I own all 4 of those movies, and I don't even know why. But that's hilarious that you brought it up.
But that's what I'm hoping that they're not going to end up doing with this, because that would suck if it's like, cool, man, what did you like better? Dante's Peak or Volcano? Pierce Brosnan or Tommy Lee Jones? L.A. or the mountains?
Exactly.
Linda Hamilton or Anne Heche? Like, which one did you like better? Either way, it's the same fucking story.
Oh, my God.
So I hope that that's not what they're going to do with this movie here, with that. But it doesn't seem like they are. But it seems like now that Spider-Man 3 is kind of in production, they got a title. We know the multiverse is going to be there. We're going to start seeing more from DC and Flashpoint, just like we got Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck. So I'm just hoping that they take their time and do it right, and they ignore what Marvel's doing, as opposed to trying to copy what Marvel's doing.
Yeah. Hey guys, this is why you need to listen to Speak Geek. I guarantee you, there's no other podcast on the planet that just out of our asses pulled out Deep Impact and Armageddon and Dante's Peak and Volcano. This was not on our show notes, guys. We didn't sit here and plan this joke. I mean, this is reality. I mean, my God, I'm as floored as all of you.
This is what goes on, and these are thoughts that go on in my head. Like, it's just, and I have to get them out there, and we have to discuss them. And it's just, you're right. You won't find this shit anywhere else, folks.
I will never forget watching Volcano on a VHS tape at home with my family back in the day.
Man.
And there was a scene where I forgot if it was Tommy Lee Jones's daughter or granddaughter or niece or whatever, but there was a part where, you know, something blows up and she's like frozen in fear. And my dad, he's old school. The one thing that just rubs him the wrong way is when he sees women in movies stand there and scream. He doesn't like that. I don't know why, but in his mind, he'd just be like, stop fucking screaming and either get out of there or do something, but don't just stand there and scream. So when this character is standing there frozen in fear, he fucking stands up and very nearly throws his pillow at the TV and goes, fucking move!
Oh my God. That's funny. Dude.
Yeah,
Here, question. Volcano or Dante's Peak? Which one? Just quick survey.
Volcano. I've seen it more times. I just happen to like it more.
What? Come on, man. You mean Tommy Lee?
I don't know.
Really? Linda Hamilton and Pierce Brosnan, the dead bodies in the grandma. See, look, this is how you know they're the same movie.
Oh, true.
In Dante's Peak, the grandma jumps out into the acidic lake and pulls the boat and has her legs burnt off. In Volcano, what's his name is carrying the guy and he jumps into the lava and tries to walk him across and throws him. Like, it's the same fucking movie.
No, it is, and I don't know why I like Volcano more. It's just the one I've seen more times. But then again, I'm the guy who likes the fucking Stallone movie Daylight, so who knows?
That is true. Yeah, that is true. I don't know, man. When you start off a movie with Pierce Brosnan and doing a bunch of push-ups, and you got, I don't know, you just got him in a mountain town. To me, man, I'm just like, dude, I got James Bond. Now he's fighting a volcano. I'm all in.
Yep. Oh, man. This is awesome. But hey, let's move on. There's rumors that HBO Max is going to debut a cheaper ad-supported tier in June. I don't remember if this was a rumor or if it was confirmed. Let's take a look at this real quick. But what do you think of that? Because I can tell you right now, I am refusing, just because I'm being a dick right now. I am refusing to pay for the no-ad Hulu, but at the same time, I make a very audible, annoyed sound every time I have to watch an ad. Now, it's not watching the ad on Hulu that gets me. We grew up with TV, broadcast.
It's the fucking
so
amount.
We're used to ads. It's the fucking, not even the amount. I'll take the amount. It's the fact that Hulu makes you actually sit there and pick an ad. Like, you got to pick one out of three.
Choose your ad experience.
The fact that they make you sit there and do that, so I can't even get up to like get a drink or something, because when I come back, I still have to fucking pick the ad.
Well, dude, I did.
That's fucking bad to me. That's messed up.
Well, so like I like Seinfeld. I've been going back and rewatching Seinfeld, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But on Hulu, when you watch Seinfeld, it starts off, and then Jerry's telling his jokes, and then right when it ends, it goes into a 1.5-minute commercial, and I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yep.
And then you get the
it's
intro.
Like 3 commercials.
Right.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the episode, it goes into a 1.5-minute commercial, and then it comes back with Jerry doing the stand-up. But you can't skip the episode until after the commercials. So I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck this. So I just ended up.
So I'm curious, which commercials are you getting the most?
That's a good question. I get a lot of car commercials.
Yes, I'm getting the Toyota.
Yes.
Picture yourself in a new Toyota. And I'm getting the Les Schwab one with the talking dog.
But I found a loophole, and I'm going to let you guys know a loophole. If you have an Amazon Alexa device that has a screen on it, like an Echo Show, you can watch all of your Hulu shows on there commercial free.
What?
So
really?
Yeah. So I have my Echo Show 8,
wow.
And I use it on my desk, like when I'm working and stuff. It's like my work show. But if I go in there, it'll even if you don't pay for it, you will get no commercials on your Echo Show devices. So I'm like, which is pretty dope. But I'll sit here and I'll watch Seinfeld and it'll just go through no commercial. I'm like, cool. And then I'll go to put it on my TV and I have commercials. I'm like, I fucking hate you, Hulu.
Yeah.
I hate you, Hulu. So I upgraded. I upgraded to the commercial free only for one reason. When HBO Max first came out, I bought the 3-year service package in advance.
Yeah.
And that included HBO Plus and Hulu, I guess. So I'm only paying...
yes.
Yes, so I'm only paying $6 a month to have Disney Plus, Hulu with no commercials, and ESPN Plus. So I'm like, whatever, I'll do it.
Yeah, that's true. If it was only $1 or $2 more, I would have done it without a second thought. But the fact that it's almost double the price of my base Hulu, I'm kind of like, eh.
But I mean,
anyways,
either way,
but no, I just double checked the.
I say if one of these days those commercials will make you buy a Toyota. So either you're going to end up getting sucked into buying a Toyota or just paying for a commercial for Hulu. It's up to you, man. But they'll get you.
Yeah. But I did verify the ad-supported free tier of HBO Max is a thing. It's not just a rumor. So it will be coming in June.
So no, I think that's.
We'll
I think it's stupid, and I'm gonna tell you too. And I think Peacock is kind of stupid too. And I know this is on the notes, but I'm gonna hit on this real quick. I did watch Fastlane on Peacock. And I will tell you the experience was fantastic. No glitches. I had no issues whatsoever. The only downside is that on Peacock, there's no pause, there's no rewind, there's no fast forward. And let's say you start your pay-per-view, like say you want to start it 30 minutes later so you can start from live and just kind of catch up. You can't do that.
Yeah, which I used to do a lot.
You cannot do that. So whenever you turn it on is when it starts. You cannot start from the beginning and catch up.
That's gotta be coming. There's no way they can shut the WWE network down and not bring at least those features.
So I think that Fastlane was just like a preview to show like, hey, all these people can watch it for free and see what they can do. But Peacock is a bullshit service. I'm going to tell you why. Because they have their free subscription, and then they have their $4.99 service. Even though you pay $4.99, there's still fucking ads and everything, including the movies.
There's too many tiers, dude, for something that is not anywhere in the same stratosphere as like a Disney Plus or an HBO Max.
And I'm really sick and tired of these fucking streaming companies doing these fucking tiers. Look, bitch, you know how many fucking people are signed up for HBO Max or Hulu or Netflix or whatever the fuck it is? If I want to watch commercials, I'll just pay $49 a month for my Comcast. And then guess what? With my Comcast, I get access to HBO. I get access to fucking all your shit. I don't have to pay extra for it, and I'll just keep my commercials. Like, it's really fucking stupid that they're doing that. Because if you have Comcast cable, and let's say you pay for HBO and all that kind of stuff, you get HBO Max for free, you get Disney Plus, you get all this stuff. So why the fuck do I want to pay?
So wait, what's the difference between the $4.99 and $9.99 tier though? I know $9.99 is commercial free.
Yes.
So why are you paying for $4.99? What's so great about that tier?
Well, because in $4.99 you get access to everything. There's just commercials. On the free tier, you only get a limited amount of stuff you can watch.
That's fucking stupid. Why not just make it a free tier and a $9.99 tier? Ad free, you get everything.
Yeah. Well, that way they're guaranteed to get $5. Because if you want to watch all The Office, you got to pay your $5. Sorry.
Fuck that. I bought The Office for $40. I don't ever have to touch Peacock.
Yep, so did I. And the only reason I have Peacock is because I get it free. I get the $4.99 tier free because I have Xfinity. So, like, I don't even have to pay for it.
Right.
And it's garbage. I don't use it for anything except watching WWE. Like, that's it. Because...
Well, fuck that. I'm not going to subscribe to WWE. I'm just going to come over to your house and watch WrestleMania.
Boom. Or you can just log in with mine, which is easy fucking enough. But yeah, WrestleMania.
Or we can just do that. So yeah, you can suck my dick, NBC, with your fucking two
I don't
tiers.
like it. So I don't think that HBO should do that either. I think that, I can understand why Hulu does it because, like, hey, The Bachelor came on Tuesday. You want to watch it the next day. There's going to be some commercials.
Yeah, they were kind of the first to do it anyways. Right. I'm not really mad at them. Right. They're not like just piggybacking.
So you know what? If I'm going to pay $9 a month and I can have everything at Hulu commercial free, then I'll fucking do it, dude, because I'm paying $15 a month at HBO Max, but I get double the amount of stuff on Hulu. So I'll do it for Hulu. But I mean, I guess HBO Max doing a cheaper one is cool, but again, for what? Who's it for, I guess?
Yeah, it's not like I'm all of a sudden going to drop down the free.
Right.
I'm still maintaining my subscription because so far, HBO Max has been worth it for me.
Right. And if HBO Max wants to get more people, then why not pay, instead of being $14.99 a month, drop it down to $9.99 a month. And yeah, you lose $5 a month.
Because HBO's always been expensive.
Right. But even
back when it was a cable package.
Or even drop it down to $12.99 a month. Do something like that. But I mean, I don't know. It's just... It seems to do the ad stuff. It's to the point now where ads are just so bad and so many of them.
Yeah,
and
it's not the same concept as it was back on broadcast TV when that was your only option. Ads now are just, I don't know. I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Anyways, though, I don't know. I think, whatever, HBO, I think instead of doing this shit, you should focus on your fucking sound quality issues on your fucking movies and give me a 4K HDR
and make everything
library.
4K, yeah.
But no, that's fine. Let's just make it cheaper tier, you fucking cocksuckers. All right. Next.
Hey, let's move on. We're getting a Ghost of Tsushima movie. That came out of nowhere.
Do you know what's crazy
is
that I already thought we had a Ghost of Tsushima movie. It's called the fucking video game. But hey, what do I know?
I thought you were going to say something wise ass like it's called The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise, and I was going to laugh.
Are you kidding me? We're not going to going to whitewash it that much. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Last Samurai is not whitewashed with Tom Cruise at all because the story makes sense. It has to be a white guy, but it's a very good movie.
Yes, but they completely ripped off Dances with Wolves.
Right. So, oh yeah, good point.
It's Japanese Dances with Wolves. It's Dances with fucking foxes. I don't know.
That's true. That is true. Well, whatever. Fuck it. No. But
anyways, we are getting a Ghost of Tsushima movie by the John Wick director. I forgot his name. He's going to be directing it. So, I mean, we know the action's going to look good, but is it going to be a brainless action movie, or is it actually going to be, a decent narrative? Because the story has a fantastic narrative.
This is where I have a problem with this, and this is where, like, it gets very frustrating to me that we do this, man. I hate the fact that fucking Hollywood movie producers, whatever, think that everything that's a good idea on one platform deserves to be on theirs. That's bullshit.
And you know what? Here's my thing. Here's my. I'm sorry for interrupting, but here's my thing. If you want a good movie that's steeped in samurai culture, there is a fuck ton of classic Japanese samurai films that the only thing you got to do is read subtitles, and it's not that hard.
Right.
I mean, movies like The Seven Samurai, movies like I'm drawing a huge blank right now, but there are good movies out there.
Yeah. Look at all the Kurosawa movies. I mean, fuck, just Kurosawa movies. I mean, there's so many out there. And again, I am not upset about this if it's going to be done like the game. The thing about the Ghost game is that it told this epic story where you were invested in it from beginning to end. And it told this sweeping, epic. And that's what we saw with The Last of Us, and that's why the Tomb Raider games are so good. And then they turn them into movies, and you're trying to take this epic story that, you could probably tell the story in 2 hours, but it's the experience and the game and the drama and the 40 hours you put 100%. Into playing it that get you there. So I just don't know how you're going to tell the emotion and the story of what this character went through in the game and put it into a real movie. John Wick worked because you got Keanu Reeves doing fucking dope ass shit with the puppy being killed, and you get the emotion and everything else. But what made Ghost good was the story that it told. So are you just taking the name and you're going to put it on some kind of whack ass action movie, and you're just taking the name just like every other fucking video game movie has done? Or are you going to try to tell the actual story? Because if I want to see a dope Japanese samurai story, I'll watch the one that Netflix just put out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, this isn't as bad as whitewashing, like casting Scarlett Johansson in Ghost in the Shell. It's not as bad as that, or Matt Damon in The Great Wall. But something just rubs me the wrong way. If you're going to make a movie that is this Japanese and this steeped in Japanese culture, get a fucking Japanese director.
Yeah. Well,
it doesn't even have to be in Japanese. I mean, fucking just how many movies has John Woo made in English? Just get a fucking Japanese director who knows it. I'm not saying this guy doesn't know, samurai culture.
Right.
But it just rubs me the wrong way.
I mean, it just seems like they're just trying to make an action movie based in, feudal Japan with the cons and stuff. And dude, cool. Whatever, man. But
cashing in on the Stop Asian Hate movement right now.
Yeah, and again, to me, I don't even have any of the, I don't, like, we both are against this for completely different reasons. I'm just really tired of great video games getting turned into dog shit movies and then leaving a bad taste in your mouth. Yeah. Like, I'm just tired of it. Like, I have high hopes and expectations for The Last of Us, for the TV series, because The Last of Us should be a long, drawn-out story. A movie is different, and right now, it's nothing with COVID, just streaming services alone, and the stories that they can tell with these longer episodic times works. And Ghost of Tsushima is a good 16, 17, 40 hour story if you want to, so don't try to cram it into 3 hours and give me some fucking shit action movie. I want I just, again, this goes back to me wanting more. I just want stories again. I want good movies again. I'm tired of, I love, these action movies, but I'm also very tired of everything being the next big thing, the biggest, brightest spectacle. Tell me a story. Get me invested. Make me emotional. Make me feel something. Make me want to stand behind a character. Don't make me be like, oh my God, look at this big battle fight. It just seems like everything we're getting is the next big action, the next big action, the next big action. Yeah. Fuck, man. Give me an Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark again. Give me a simple, basic, regular movie and not these fucking grand epic scales. Give me an Almost Famous again. Give me a Dirty Dancing. Give me a Ghost. Give me a fucking Roadhouse. Give me a Mallrats. Give me something that just tells me a story, Give me a Pulp Fiction. I keep hearing this stuff, and maybe I'm getting older or whatever, I don't know, but I'm just like, here we go again with another action movie based on the video game.
You're definitely not the only one that feels this way, because that's kind of the complaint about the Marvel Universe right now. Now, granted, I'll fucking take a bullet for the Marvel Universe and DC Universe and all that, but no, I get the arguments. I totally get it.
So, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's move on. Falcon and the Winter Soldier came out 2 weeks ago. We've both seen the first 2 episodes. We both seem to like it. The Winter Soldier is still my favorite MCU film to this day. There's something about this modern day espionage thriller that I love. It's, like a fucking Bourne movie with Cap. But what'd you think?
So this is
coming right off of WandaVision and the mindfuck that was. So, what do you think about a more grounded series like this?
I dig this. I think this is actually pretty cool. Again, we're still getting the same repetitive shit. So it's like, oh my God. But also, what you're getting with this. You're going into the Falcon and Winter Soldier because you want to follow these characters from what the fuck you just saw. Yeah. So to me, I was hesitant at first, and I was talking with my brother this morning.
Oh, by the way, spoilers.
Yes, spoilers.
Sorry.
I was talking to my brother about it this morning, and he was like, I don't know, man, because you got Sam becoming Captain America, and he doesn't really have any superpowers. And that was my thought, too. I'm like, wait, so, you got Sam, now you got this new Captain America. He doesn't really have any superpowers, blah, blah, blah. So I was hesitant to watch it. So I was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. But when I went in and watched the beginning of it, and I watched the first episode, the first 20 minutes, and I saw the story and where they were going, I was like, man, this show is dope. Like, I like the action. It's an action movie is what it is.
It was funny that you brought up that Sam never wears a helmet, and it never occurred to me that, oh my God, he should be dead by now. Yeah. He should have been dead by the end of the Winter Soldier movie.
Dude, and also, how is Colonel Rhodes still a colonel? He's War Machine. He has saved the universe multiple times. If that does not deserve a fucking promotion to at least a 2-star general, I don't know what does.
He's fucking paralyzed from saving the universe.
Like, you can't give this man a promotion, at least, bro? So, again, I love the chemistry between Bucky and Sam. I love the redemption story that we're getting with Bucky. Like, dude, when he was sitting there eating lunch with the guy and he was talking about his son, the worst part not knowing, like, it hit me before I even saw the picture. I was like, oh my God, that's when, and like, I got emotional because you can see this. And, the struggle that Bucky has with what Sam did. With the shield and giving up the shield. And I'm going to tell you right now to everybody, and I hope Disney execs are listening, all of you. None of them are, but I like to pretend they are. I hate with a passion, I told you this fucking Captain Walker, new Captain America person. I don't know if it's the actor. I don't know.
I'm positive that's
what it is. I was like,
you're supposed to hate
but
him.
I fucking hate him every single time he's on screen. I want him to go away. When he came out and waved and winked, he looked goofy in the helmet. I don't like his character. I'm hoping that's what I'm supposed to do, because I don't like him. It bothers me. I don't know what it is about him. And
so would you be opposed to him continuing in the overall arc of the MCU as U.S. agent, as opposed to Captain America? Let's say Sam becomes Captain America rightfully by the end of the Falcon and Winter Soldier. John Walker becomes U.S. agent like he does in the comics. Would you be opposed to seeing him in that role, or do you just not like the guy and want him to disappear entirely?
I've only known this actor to have like a long beard and long hair from when I've seen him before. So I think it's just freaking me out to see him the way he looks. But I don't like the character, and I don't know if the actor is supposed to be this way. And again, I'm taking this as okay, he is that Captain America that the U.S. military wants, the government wants. He is I am a captain. I am just like you. I have guts. He's the fucking Hulk Hogan. Take your vitamins, drink your milk, say your prayers, brother.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. Is he on serum? Is he not? Because he can handle the shield really fucking well, which is fantastic. Which I thought was only like. The captain with
I thought only super soldiers could do that. Bucky could do it, Cap or Steve could do it.
Right, because I remember when Bucky caught it, everybody was like,
regular ass Joe Schmo doing it.
Right, so that's why I'm like, okay, so is he on serum? Is he not? Because he got his ass kicked, and it seemed like he couldn't really do anything. And then it seems like we're not really supposed to take them seriously, but we are. And I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. I'm hoping that we get more from it. I mean, and even the way the guy wears his uniform, it just looks like he's in his dad's costume. It just doesn't look right.
Yeah.
And again,
I'm willing to bet quite a bit that that's the point. You're supposed to not like him. And this plays into the arc of Sam becoming Cap.
Well, and I looked at, and I was looking up this character, and I was trying to figure out, who U.S. Agent is and everything. So it's like the character. And from what I'm reading about him, it doesn't seem like he's going to be what I think, like the bad guy and all this other kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. Like, because it's not this guy's arc from before. So I think that it's going to be maybe him. I can't handle the pressure of Captain America and Sam finally stepping up. But I do like the fact that Sam gave up the shield. I also know that the reason he gave up the shield was because he knows that people aren't ready for a black Captain America. They're just not saying it because you can see the way he reacted to the racial tensions that they had in the Baltimore scene with him and Sam, and the way he was acting with, like, you don't understand that I did what I think was right. And there are people who are complaining about that. Like, oh my God, they're putting these racial tensions in there and blah, blah, blah. But dude,
welcome to America in 2021.
Yeah, holy shit, there it is. But on top of that, it also goes to show that this stuff still exists. Like, I mean, and not just like
in a fictional world with superheroes, it still exists.
You could literally
you have fucking
Falcon.
aliens that came out of the sky,
right?
And you had fucking Thanos and all his things, and then you still have people like black people,
and not even in like and even with the bank loan part, like not even a fact like, oh my God, like you're black. And you look at that and it shows that no matter who you are in this country, unless in their country and you have to be rich, you have to have money. You didn't have income for 5 years, bitch. I was blipped for 5 years. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So and that just goes to show like
can't get a loan, Falcon.
Hey, oh my God, I'm sorry you lost your house due to circumstances out of your control and you need a loan. And there's nothing I can do for you, bro. And then I really like the scene in Baltimore with the police officers. And I know that, it's whatever and people are going to say whatever about it and blah, blah, blah. But I liked it for multiple reasons. For A, it still goes to show that in the MC universe, at least it's just to me, that not just him for being a black man, but let alone Falcon is just a second-rate character, a second-rate hero. Nobody takes him seriously as a hero. When Cap left, Falcon was taken away too. That's why he's a nobody, and I think that he's trying to come to terms with that. And that's where when Walker goes, it'd be a lot easier if I had Cap's sidekicks with me. I think I think that hit Falcon in a way that he knows that even if he had the shield at that point, he would never be Captain America. He would still be Cap's sidekick. And I think that's the struggle that we're going to see. And I think that's why that scene in Baltimore with the police officers was so important, not just to show like the racial tensions, because clearly America wasn't ready for a black Captain America, but also that nobody will ever take him seriously.
I mean, how many people bitched about it when Endgame came out?
Right. But
Cap can be black. Yes, he
can be. The president can be, so I'm pretty sure Captain America can be. So and that's where it's I like that because there's that racial stuff that's in there. Of course, there's going to be because that's the world that we live in now. But I look at it deeper than that, where it's more of Sam never feeling appreciated or accepted, no matter what he does. This motherfucker is an Avenger who saved the world, and yet even though he gave
multiple times,
right, and even though he's like, look, man, I don't want Captain Shield. That shield was more important than what he did as a hero. And I think that's where he just feels like, I want people to respect me for what I've done, not just because I'm carrying a shield. And I think that's where he's like,
he would have been a prisoner to the symbol.
Yes. And that's where he said that the symbol is nothing without the man behind it. You don't respect me, you're going to respect the Shield, but not me. Just like, the office of the president. A lot of people say, "Oh, I respect the office of the president, but not the person behind it." It's like, that's, and it's right. You're only as good, the symbol is only as good as the person who's holding it up. And I think that's that thing that we're going to see there. And Bucky understands that, but doesn't. Bucky understands that because, and to get off the police scene, but the Isaiah scene, was heartbreaking because Sam says, "You mean to tell me that there's been a black super soldier here for decades, and I'm just now finding out about him?"
And that is ripped straight from the comics too. It was kind of shocking to see that.
Right. And that's where I love the fact that Disney Plus is not afraid to put this stuff out there.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it's hard to see. Well, you know what? Maybe entertainment should be uncomfortable for you every now and then so you can realize how uncomfortable it is for everybody else all the time.
And these are comic stories. Comics, since their inception with superheroes and stuff, have always been an analog for real world issues.
And that's
look at the fucking creation of the X-Men,
Right. And I think that it's because comic book creators and comic book people... I think because comic book people and comic book creators always felt outcasted. They always felt pushed aside. They always felt different or looked down upon or not like they were part of society because, they were smarter or they were geekier, they wore glasses or they were nerdy or they were fat or they were whatever the fuck it was. So comic books was their way to lash out. So they were able to understand, not in the same way, but if you were a fat kid who were picked all the time for being fat, you knew what it was like to be left out. So you were more inclined to become friends with the black kid who didn't have any friends or the Asian kid who didn't have any friends because you in just the smallest way know what that's like. And that's what comic books show. And that's why comic books pulled no punches when it came to fucking punching Nazis in the face or having a black superhero or a woman superhero or having any of this, dealing with mental health issues, dealing with any of this because comic book creators know that it's for everybody. And the fact that Disney was able to put that on Disney Plus and have that character as Isaiah and get that raw emotion from the few minutes that guy was on screen was fantastic. And it's heartbreaking to know that, yeah, man, this dude was in the exact same position and overlooked just because of the color of his skin.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, while we're talking about Isaiah Bradley, I want to go on this next point that I made. Now, the kid that answers the door, we don't know who he is. They never mention his name. But there is a young Avenger in the comics named Elijah Bradley. He plays Patriot, or not plays, he is Patriot. So kind of like, like a young Captain America with a flying shield. So I was thinking about that. Excuse me. The name Isaiah Bradley, that's very... It's very intentional that they push that out there. They even had, I believe it was Sam go, nice kid, Yep. So they're trying to draw your attention to this kid, which makes me think, is he Elijah Bradley? Is he Patriot? Because if he is, right now in the MCU, we have Speed and Wiccan, Wanda's kids.
Yep.
We have Kate Bishop coming up, and we possibly have a Patriot, and we have Cassie Lang, who in the comics becomes, Stature, another hero. Are they setting up Young Avengers?
Well, they already said they were.
Are they
they already
planting
said
the
they were at
seeds?
the beginning because remember, Falcon said, it's time for new heroes.
Ah, very good. That's true.
I mean, absolutely.
I completely glossed over that.
Yes, and if you think about it, and again, I know that it's like, oh my God, we're getting, the WandaVision and we got Falcon and Winter Soldier and we're getting Spider-Man. To me, this doesn't feel like they're setting up something. For me, it feels like they're ending this. We got the ending for our core Avengers. And you have to think, when we got Avengers Age of Ultron, that was the second Avengers movie. And that's when we were introduced to Wanda and to Quicksilver and to those new Avengers. And then when we had, were introduced to Black Panther. So it seems like that what we're going to get in Spider-Man is going to be the ending of these people. It's going to be the ending of the Wanda and the Elizabeth Olsen from the Marvel Universe and for the Vision and for the, and for that, because Doctor Strange is a relatively newer person, but he's been here for 2 movies of, what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what I think. And I agree with you 100%. They are setting up these newer, younger Avengers. That's why they're putting a lot of focus on these younger cast characters and dropping their names and I think that's why WandaVision ended with Wanda sitting there and hearing the kids say, "Mom, help," because we know that, her
because those kids are coming back.
Right. So, of course, we're going to set this up. And that's why they're putting this focus on these younger people, because I like Anthony Mackie, man, but I've seen him do movies since like the fucking however many Marvel movies old boy's been in as Falcon. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I got it, man. I've seen Winter Soldier. I've seen these people for a long time. I want something new. And that's where I think, again, like I said before on DC with Snyder's side, I want a young Justice League. I want a Justice League Dark. I want a Constantine. I want these different stories that you guys can break into. Give me something new and exciting. Because again, you have decades of stories, 100 years of comic book stories you can pull from.
And I'm being selfish. I showed you, I have the issue of Young Avengers with the first appearance of Kate Bishop. I just want that comic to go up in value.
Dude, I think we're going to get it because...
I'm never going to sell it. I just like watching it go up in value and being like, yep, that's mine.
Dude, we're going to get it. They're going to bring
but they are very clearly, right? I mean, they have all these characters now that exist in the world.
Dude,
I mean,
let's face
you have Cassie Lang, you have...
Yeah. We're not young. Paul Rudd's not young. Fucking Anthony Mackie looks great. He's not young. So these people aren't young. We're not 20 anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, we need to have that new crop coming in. Like, everybody's pissed off about Robert Pattinson being Batman. Dude, he's as old as us. Like, he's not like he's some 18-year-old kid. So it's like, dude, we're old.
Yeah,
we have to...
exactly.
So we're just getting older, and we have to, again, step aside and let the new generation come in. And that's where, it's heartbreaking as it is to see Robert Downey Jr. step aside from Iron Man. You've been doing this shit for your whole life. Go ahead. Take a nap, bro. You're good. Yeah. At ease, soldier.
And now we have a show with Kamala Khan coming out. We potentially could have Miles Morales showing up at some point. I mean, you've got this entirely new crop of Marvel characters that could become the norm.
But there's only one character that I'm really excited that's coming back, and I'm going to lead us into our next note, and that is the possibility that we're going to get more Jeff Goldblum in Love and Thunder.
That's never, ever, ever a bad thing, ever.
I'm sorry.
Even if it's just in an AT&T commercial.
Right, I don't care. If he's doing apartments.com, I don't care.
Capital One.
It's fucking Jeff Goldblum, bro. Like, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I loved him in fucking Thor. The last one. I don't know, man. I'm just really excited with the Grandmaster, dude. I don't know. I'm hoping.
So I guess that means the Grandmaster's coming back as a character,
as well as he should. We didn't see what happened at the end when he was in the last Thor. So I say let's go for it.
Just having Jeff Goldblum in that role made everything so absurd. Just by virtue of him being Jeff Goldblum, like when he's just talking to people and he suddenly decides he wants the DJ for a bit, it only works for Jeff Goldblum. It would not have worked if it was Bruce Willis or someone.
Right, exactly. Well, nothing works for Bruce Willis unless it's Die Hard. That man's garbage for years. But anyways, exactly. So, dude, I'm excited for that. And this is where it's like, hey, man, let's keep some of the classics. And I think with Thor Ragnarok, great movie. And Chris Hemsworth only said he would come back if Taika Waititi was doing it. So, they're doing this one. And again, when you look at the store, it's the passing of the hammer from Chris Hemsworth to Natalie Portman. So it's a new crop of these Avengers coming in. And that's where I'm curious where they're going to pull her into. Is she going to make a show in a show? Is she going to pop up in Spider-Man? Is she going to be there? Because it's clearly going to be a passing of the torch, and Thor is supposed to be doing more with Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'm kind of intrigued where we're going to go from here. So I don't know, but I do think we're going to get Young Avengers.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't the second Thor movie originally supposed to involve Patty Jenkins as the director, and then she left on bad terms, and then that's also why Natalie Portman kind of got into bad terms with the Marvel movies?
Yes.
And she was barely mentioned until now.
Yes. I think that's actually pretty accurate.
Okay. I don't remember how the whole thing went down, but I remember there being something about Patty Jenkins supposed to direct the second Thor movie. Something happened. Then Natalie Portman was on bad terms with everyone for whatever reason. I don't remember. But I'm glad she's back. I mean, I'm glad they're doing this story. I mean, the reason why Jane Foster... One of the big reasons is because she has cancer, and when she's in her Thor form, the cancer's not there. So I'm curious if this will play into it at all. Probably not, but
I wouldn't think so. But I mean, who knows? I mean, Taika's much more of a funny guy, much more of a he delivers. But like Jojo Rabbit, phenomenal movie. Oh my god, if you guys still have not seen
was.
Jojo Rabbit, y'all motherfuckers need to go see it because that shit is phenomenal.
Yep.
But I'm excited for what he's gonna do because the last Thor Ragnarok, was really good. And if you're gonna get Jeff Goldblum back,
Yes,
I'm
was.
excited about what's gonna happen with Natalie Portman. I mean, it's exciting, and I think that again, Natalie Portman is a good person. And I hope we get more than just the Thor: Love and Thunder. I hope that she moves on to a Disney series and comes in with the Young Avengers as like the one who's leading, or something. But I don't know. It's exciting.
See, I'm excited about this next Thor movie because of the inclusion of all these characters. And I remember when Civil War came out, it felt less like a Captain America movie and more like a mini Avengers movie.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm kind of getting that feeling from Love and Thunder. I mean, you have all these characters coming back, the Guardians being in here and everything. It just feels like less of a just Thor movie and more of like a mini cosmic Avengers movie almost.
Yep.
And that's really exciting. I like that. I like these big ensemble pieces. I like the more singular stories too, like a Doctor Strange, but it's kind of cool when you have everyone in there as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, our final piece of news is after basically going, no, we're not releasing on Disney Plus. No, we're not releasing on Disney Plus. This needs to be seen in the theaters. And then COVID going, haha, not today. Black Widow is finally releasing in the theaters on July 9th and Disney Plus Premier Access, which is something they should have done a year ago.
Yeah.
Black Widow, honestly, should have been the first Disney Plus Premier Access movie, not Mulan.
I agree. I don't know. I mean, hasn't Black Widow? It's been done for a while, so it's not like they've been working on it or anything.
Well, it was supposed to come out last summer, so yeah, it's been done for a while.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought too. So it's kind of confusing. And again,
just like the Bond movie,
right? And this thing doesn't hold any stakes, right? Because it's before Black Widow died.
Yeah, well, it was before she was an Avenger. Period.
Right. Okay.
I think. Judging by what I'm saying, I think it was before she becomes an Avenger. So it's telling her backstory. And maybe like an important mission she did before she met Stark in Iron Man 2.
Well, I know that we have David Harbour in it, and I love David Harbour, and I'll take more.
For sure.
I'll take more David Harbour because he's playing. Oh my god, what is he playing? The Red something for. He's basically the Russian Captain America.
Captain Russia.
Yeah,
we'll just call him.
So, like, I mean, which is cool. I'll take more David Harbour.
And Rachel Weisz as one of the original Black Widows, and you have Yelena, who in the comics is a Black Widow as well. Right. So, I mean, this is definitely world building. It's but it should have come out as the first Disney.
But I can tell you what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to pay the additional $30 to watch it. So
of course not. We all know it's coming to Disney Plus later, anyways. Just like Raya and the Last Dragon, I didn't pay $30 for it. I'm just going to wait for it to be part of my, Disney Plus.
That's right. I'll see it in a month. I mean, it's. Again, Black Widow, I'm not worried. I'll see it when I fucking see it, man.
Yep. It's just, I understand the popularity of the character, and I think Scarlett Johansson is really great in the character, and she's, likable and important in that role. I buy a Black Widow series more than I do a solo movie, especially after being delayed for so long now. My interest in it has waned considerably.
Right. Like, mine too. Like, I really don't care. Like, I mean, I know that sounds rude, but I don't care anymore.
I mean, I'll watch it for sure. Just, I'm certainly not paying for it, and I'm certainly not, it's not one of the movies I have to see.
Right. So that's where it's like, cool, man, but I'm not going to pay the additional money for it.
Yeah. So, July 9th. I mean, who knows what the theater situation would be like. I likely won't go to the theaters to see it, even if I can, just because,
Yeah, man, if people,
it is what it is.
I mean,
but
if people are going to be going to theaters and they got vaccines and everything else, man, more power to you. I'm going to, I'll stay at home and keep doing as much as I, at home as much as I can for as long as I can until I feel like I have to get out. And then,
and if I'm going to go to the theater to see a movie, it's going to be a movie that I actually want to absolutely have to see in the theaters.
And even if I go see a movie by myself in theaters, it's still not going to cost me $30. So think about that.
Yeah. So it is what it is. So, hey, I think that wraps it up for today. Hey, good episode, man.
Dude, felt good, man. Again, good talking to you, brother. Good talking to you.
Yep, always a pleasure. You can follow me on Twitter at ToneZone81. Josh?
You can give me at BruceBain66. Holy shit! I forgot one thing.
What?
Dude, the Suicide Squad trailer. Can't wait to see it. Getting fucking Starro.
God, how could we have forgotten that?
Holy shit. Fucking Starro, it looks insane. John Cena will apparently eat a lot of dicks if it's in the name of liberty. And
I was just about to say John Cena's going to eat a lot of dicks, and he's happy to do so.
The trailer, to keep this brief, trailer looked great. I've watched it a couple times. I cannot wait for more of this movie. I can't wait to see it. I'm super fucking stoked. If you haven't seen the trailer, go check it out.
Yep. Definitely. It's on YouTube. It's on everywhere you can watch it. It's fantastic. So
absolutely. All right, big dog.
Oh, and King Shark ripping that dude in half.
Oh, so good. So good.
Yeah. So anyways, go check out the trailer. We will see you guys next time.
All right, guys. Later, Gators.